that is probing the role of Teesta Setalvad in forming a conspiracy after the Gujarat 2002 riots has claimed that she deliberately did so to implicate the then Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi. The SIT has also startlingly claimed that she was doing this at the behest of Ahmed Patel, the longtime political secretary of Sonia Gandhi. The Congress and the Patels' family, in fact, have dismissed these claims. The question is, were Teesta and gang doing this for political purposes? The SIT has also gone on to claim that Teesta apparently got separate checks, one for 5 lakhs, which was given to her by a person who was told to by Ahmed Patel, and then subsequently another one for 25 lakhs at a guest house just days after the Gujarat 2002 riots. Let me now bring you up to speed with what are the findings. Let's in fact play out the bites of both the BJP and the Congress in response to the SIT's findings.
अहमद पटेल जी के माध्यम से सोनिया जी ने नरेंद्र मोदी जी को घेरने की चेष्टा की, उन्हें अपमानित और उन्हें किस प्रकार से निष्कासित किया जाए इसकी चेष्टा की, और ये पूरे षड्यंत्र की रचयिता सोनिया गांधी है।
हर बार गुजरात चुनाव जब आता है तो कभी अंसारी जी का नाम लेकर शुरू हो जाएंगे, कभी स्वर्गीय अहमद पटेल जी का नाम लेकर शुरू हो जाएंगे। और मैं याद दिला दूं आपको, जिस एसआईटी ने श्री नरेंद्र मोदी को क्लीन चिट दी थी, उसके अध्यक्ष श्री राघवन को पुरस्कृत किया गया।
All right, this is what the SIT, and it submitted this to the Gujarat High Court. This is of course in the bail hearing of Teesta Setalvad. This is what the SIT says, that there was a conspiracy that was hatched at the behest of late Ahmed Patel. Remember, Ahmed Patel for the longest time was Sonia Gandhi's right-hand man, her political secretary. The plot involved Teesta Setalvad as well as 2 former Gujarat cops, former ADG R.B. Srikumar and also Sanjeev Bhatt, who was in the intelligence, state intelligence at that time. Teesta Setalvad apparently held meetings with Ahmed Patel just days after the Godhra incident that happened in February of 2002. Ahmed Patel gave Teesta Setalvad, first through a person appointed by him, 5 lakh rupees in the first installment, and then subsequently 25 lakh rupees. There was a meeting at a guest house that happened in Ahmedabad just days after the 2002 riots. There was a larger political objective, which was to destabilize the then Gujarat government under Chief Minister Narendra Modi. These are the findings of the SIT. This has now become a full-fledged political war between the Congress and the BJP. Tom Vadakkan, national spokesperson of the BJP, is joining us. Ratan Sharda, RSS researcher on the broadcast this evening. Saira Shah Halim, author and activist. Kapil Madan, lawyer. And I must say, before we start the debate, that the Congress party has officially said that they will not be sending their representative for this debate. But let me start with Tom Vadakkan. These are damning findings of the SIT, but the Congress has hit back and said, why are you attacking a dead man? It's been 5 years since Ahmed Patel died. If you had this information while he was alive, at least he could have defended himself. Tom.
Zaka, he would have definitely defended himself, in the sense he would have spoken out, because his condition towards the end of his life was very miserable. I've known the man for quite some time, and his helplessness was visible right on his face. The kind of treatment he received from Rahul Gandhi and company was shocking. Now, these are issues. If he was alive, what would he say? The issue is not about late Shri Ahmed Patel. The issue is about who was behind it. The questions being raised by the Bharatiya Janata Party is, did Sonia Gandhi know about it? If so, she must come out openly. It's not enough that Jairam Ramesh issues a press statement saying, well, you know, Gujarat elections and the script is all familiar. Why don't you deny that there was no connection? If you don't deny, that means there is an element of suspicion. The first time I met Teesta Setalvad was in Mr. Ahmed Patel's house. It was incidental, Zaka.
Okay.
I had just walked in. And I also do not agree with what Mumtaz, the daughter, says. She was not familiar with the daily routine of Mr. Ahmed Patel. You could not meet Ahmed Patel without an appointment. You had to call him up, and the time allotted, you had to be there. It could be late night, it could be 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, any time. This man was a alcoholic, and then he would rush to 10 Janpat to get his clearances. He would not breathe without instructions from 10 Janpat. I've known the man. He stood by them.
Saira, Shah, Halim, this is what the SIT has said, and it's been submitted to a district court in Ahmedabad. The political objective of the applicant, in this case Teesta Setalvad, while enacting this larger conspiracy, was dismissal or destabilization of the elected government in Gujarat by hook or crook, for which she obtained illegal financial and other benefits from a rival political party in lieu of her attempts to wrongly implicate, among others, the then chief minister. This is the affidavit that they have filed in a court. Surely both Teesta and the Congress party need to explain.
See, Zaka, these conspiracy theories and these allegations are getting bizarre by the day. It seems that a particular political party is getting quite rattled because there are elections around the corner in that state. Because here you're putting all the allegations on an elderly, frail woman as if she sent the orders, and Mr. Ahmed Patel, who is not even alive to defend his position, has given an alleged amount of money to a human rights defender. It is so sorry that this regime is so fearful of one particular woman, because it seems that a whole lot of skeletons are there in the closet and they're going to tumble out, anytime sooner or later. So that is what they're trying so hard to bury.
No, but Saira, tell me something. If they wanted to bury it, they would have buried it. Why are they keeping the issue alive? Number one. Number two. You can say what you want about, political motives and so on and so forth. Are you attributing then political motives to the Supreme Court also? Because the court said pretty much the same thing about a month ago when it delivered the final verdict, that there was a larger conspiracy and that Teesta was involved in it.
See, all I'm trying to say is that right now there are various agencies that are dancing to the tune of the ruling regime. And it is very tragic that where justice should be delivered, justice is not being delivered, but justice is just being added to the powers. They are just making the powers more powerful. Okay. And I think that's not a healthy sign for a true democracy, when the powerful who are already powerful, they are getting these, help from all these sources, and these very, very bizarre allegations are being put. I mean, Sonia Gandhi.
Of course, these are allegations that have been filed in an affidavit before a court of law. It's up to Teesta Setalvad and her lawyers to contest that. But here's what it says more, and I want to read this, and I want to ask Ratan Sharda to weigh in on this. 2 days later, in a meeting conducted at the Government Circuit House in Shahi Bagh between late Shri Ahmed Patel and the applicant Teesta Setalvad, by the said witness, was handed over 25 lakh rupees more on the instructions of late Ahmed Patel. This cash money was given to the applicant. It was not part of any relief-related corpus because all the relief came through one centralized Gujarat Relief Committee. So this money was not going through that